She paid for your coffee again, the third time this week, and slid it across the counter with that look, the one that says, "I've got you." You smiled, because that's what you're supposed to do when someone does something nice. But somewhere between reaching for the cup and saying thank you, something tightened in your chest. Not anger. Not exactly. Something closer to being slowly pressed under something soft, grateful and cornered at the same time, and ashamed of the cornered part. There's a reason that help felt like a leash. And by the end of this, you'll see where it was attached, what's underneath it, what it's really holding in place. And the thing at the very bottom, the one most people never look at, will make you rethink every favor you've ever felt guilty about. Here's what makes this particular dynamic almost impossible to call out. The weapon looks identical to the gift. From the outside, someone is being kind to you. They're helping. They're showing up. And if you flinch, if you name the discomfort, you become the problem. The ungrateful one. The one who can't receive. The one who makes everything complicated. It's the only trap that punishes you for noticing it. Your nervous system doesn't separate a gift from a contract. That uneasy feeling after receiving help you didn't ask for? That's your body registering a debt your mouth never agreed to. When you ask for help, you're in control. You chose the terms. When they offer before you even finish the sentence, they've just made the first move in a game you didn't know you were playing. And that guilt, that low, constant hum of not being thankful enough, it was installed. So let me peel it apart. Starting at the surface and going somewhere most people refuse to look. You mentioned your car was making a noise, casually. Over dinner. You weren't asking for anything. You were filling a silence. But the next morning, he's in your driveway. Hood up. Tools out. Already halfway through something you never gave him permission to start. And when you step outside, still holding your coffee, still in the clothes you slept in, he looks up and smiles like he just solved your whole week. Now you're standing in your own driveway, watching someone dismantle something that belongs to you, and your brain is doing math it shouldn't have to do. If you say thank you, you owe something you can't name. If you say stop, you're ungrateful. If you say nothing, he finishes, and now you carry a debt you never signed up for. So you say thank you. And something behind your ribs locks shut. That's the surface, the unsolicited favor, not the kind you asked for. The kind that arrived before you could decide whether you even needed it. And the weight of it isn't the favor itself, it's the position it locks you into. Receiver, dependent, grateful, or else. You weren't ungrateful. You were sensing the price tag on something that was supposed to be free. But that's just the surface. Now peel it back. Here's something that sounds almost cruel to say out loud. Some people don't help you to lift you up. They help you because it makes them taller. Your boss stays late to fix your report. Doesn't criticize, doesn't raise her voice, just quietly redoes it and sends it back with a note, "Don't worry about it, I took care of it." And everyone on the team sees this. Sees how patient she is, how she steps in without complaint, how she handles things. What nobody sees is the quiet rearrangement happening underneath. Every time she rescues your work, the unspoken message lands, you need rescuing, not because you failed, but because she intervened before you had the chance to finish. She didn't help you improve. She helped herself become essential. And the gap between you, the one that says she's competent and you're still learning, widens by exactly one favor every time. There's something in the way humans process help that most people never think about. The act of helping someone actually increases the helper's perceived status relative to the person being helped. Every rescue tilts the floor a little more, and the person on the receiving end starts to shrink, not because they are less, but because the dynamic only works if they stay that way, not generous, positional. Stay with me. Because what comes next is where the nice version of the story ends. You're lying in bed and your partner has already handled the thing you were going to do tomorrow. The errand, the phone call, the appointment you'd been putting off. And your first feeling isn't relief. It's something hollower. Like a room you used to fill that someone else has quietly furnished without asking. A thought surfaces. I should be happy. They're taking care of me. Isn't that love? But then a quieter one. The one you've never said out loud. When did I stop doing things for myself? You try to remember. And the silence where the answer should be is the loudest thing in the room. First it was advice. Then it was stepping in. Then it was doing it for you. Then it was the look on their face when you tried to do it yourself, the barely hidden disappointment, as if you'd taken a toy back from someone who was having fun with it. They drove you to the interview. They rewrote the email. They called the landlord. They picked the restaurant. They reminded you about the bill. And somewhere in the middle of all that kindness, you stopped believing you could do any of it alone. That's not care. That's erosion dressed in a caretaker's clothes. Your capability didn't disappear. It was replaced. Slowly, helpfully, one small rescue at a time, until you forgot it was ever yours. The discomfort you felt wasn't a flaw. It was information. This next part is the one that's going to sit with you for days, because it doesn't happen behind closed doors. Thanksgiving. Your mother stands up mid-dinner to refill your plate before you've finished what's on it. You say you're fine. She does it anyway, spooning mashed potatoes onto your plate like a verdict. Your uncle chuckles. Your cousin leans back and murmurs, "Isn't she sweet?" And your mother looks at you with that expression, patient, luminous, long-suffering, the face of someone who is giving and giving and giving, and all she asks is that you receive it. Now try saying no. Try pushing the plate back. Try saying, "Actually, Mom, I've got it." Watch the room shift. Watch your uncle's smile freeze. Watch your cousin's eyes flick between you and her. Watch your mother's chin dip, the brief, practiced hurt that everyone at that table catches and you're now responsible for. You didn't do anything wrong. You just declined a second helping. But in front of an audience, declining help looks like cruelty. And the helper doesn't have to say a word. The room does it for them. The room makes sure you understand. She was being kind, and you were being difficult, so you say thank you, and your hands make fists under the table. The most controlling people in your life will never raise their voice. They'll raise their hand to volunteer. Everything I've described so far has been preparation. This last layer is the reason this video exists. This isn't about one favor, one dinner, one fixed car, or one public moment. This is about what happens after years of someone being your safety net and waking up one morning unable to remember the last time you caught yourself. Remember the first layer, the unsolicited favor that left you heavy. This is what it was building toward. It was never about the car, or the coffee, or the plate of food. It was about making sure there would always be a next time, a next need, a next moment where they step in and you step back. And over enough time, something shifts that you can't shift back. You look in the mirror and you don't see someone who was helped. You see someone who was hollowed. The person who catches every stumble, who finishes every sentence, who handles every hard conversation on your behalf, they didn't just assist you. They became the parts of you that face the world. What's left is the part that waits, the part that hesitates, the part that looks for permission before making a move in their own life. That's not who you were. You were someone before the help arrived. Someone who stumbled and recovered. Someone who made the call themselves, even when their voice shook. Someone who sat in the mess and figured it out alone. They held the umbrella so long you forgot you could stand in the rain. And the deepest cut isn't that they took something from you. It's that you can't point to the moment it happened. There was no argument, no ultimatum, no raised voice, just a slow, steady, generous replacement of everything you used to do. Until the person looking back at you needed them to function. They helped you so much you forgot how to help yourself. Generous, isn't it? That guilt you carried, for wanting distance, for feeling trapped by someone who only wanted to help. You were right to pull away. Here's the part that makes it harder, not easier. Most of them don't know they're doing it. The person who shows up uninvited, who fills every crack in your life with themselves, they're not scheming, they're not calculating, they're hungry, not for your gratitude, for your need. Because without it, they don't know who they are. Every gap they fill in your life fills a gap in theirs. The hardest part isn't that they're cruel. It's that they genuinely believe they're being kind. And that belief is the armor that makes this impossible to confront. But here's what you need to hear. Real kindness doesn't leave you smaller. It hands you the tool and steps back. It doesn't need you to need it again tomorrow. And it never, not once, makes you feel guilty for being whole without it. The fact that you felt the difference, that your chest tightened when everyone else was clapping, means you were never fooled. Not really. You don't owe anyone your smallness. The most powerful thing you can do is the thing they quietly trained you to believe you can't. Handle it yourself. Tell me in the comments, whose face did you see while watching this? You don't have to explain, just their role: mother, partner, boss, friend. Subscribe if you want to keep seeing what everyone else is trained to miss. Not every gift is free. Now you know why it never felt that way.